Thinking about buying an action cam to film your rides? Do you already film your rides but want to improve your skills? Well, here are some tips from my 15 years of filming motorbikes. Which action cam will suit you best? Camera mounts, camera settings, filming technique, narration, editing tips, social media, and 360 cams, drones and zoom cameras. First, if you are new to filming, use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. You don't need the most expensive action cam. To get good results, it should be a GoPro Insta360 or DJI, but you can save a lot by buying the outdated stock. You don't need a pile of different camera mounts, at least not at the beginning. A chin bar mount is your best option. Editing. You don't need to be a Spielberg or Tarantino to create a good video. A lot of riders buy an expensive action cam, then it never gets used because the editing takes so long. We'll look at ways to keep it simple but interesting. Okay, choice of camera. There are budget action cameras, but it's worth spending a bit more. Why? Image stabilization is critical for smooth video footage unless you like getting seasick. The good cameras handle high contrast better, such as riding under trees with lots of sunlight and shade. They are better in low light conditions. Good audio is almost as important as the video quality. And the best brands usually record good audio and have ways to minimize wind noise. As mentioned, we suggest looking at the old model runouts for GoPro, DJI or Insta360. If you are on a strict budget, the Akaso Brave 7 is regarded as the best of the budget action cams. Camera mounts. A helmet-mounted action cam is all you need to begin filming. 90% of my filming is an action cam with this Dango chin bar mount. In smooth terrain, you can remove the mount and film riders from the side. Overtaking, you can get low shots, point the camera backwards, or hold the camera as high as possible to get drone-like shots. Just make sure it's tethered to the helmet in case the Dango slips off. You can use various mounts on your motorbike to get different angles, but generally the jarring of the bike can create unsteady footage. Filming technique. A lot of riders just record until the battery runs out. Then you have to spend hours trying to find the interesting bits to keep. My suggestion? Just focus on filming the interesting bits and record for 10 to 30 seconds. When editing, you can just stitch them all together and the regular cuts make it more interesting. Include static shots, get ahead of the group and film other riders going past or attempting an obstacle. Variety is the spice of life. Try to get close when filming other riders. There's a safety issue here, of course, but you often see someone filming another rider and they are just a dot in the distance. I always make sure other riders are okay with me filming them from a short distance. I let them know when I'm filming and I'm ready to hit those brakes if they veer into my line. Remember to move the camera slowly to avoid jerky footage. Ditto for helmet cam footage. If you swing your head from side to side rapidly, there are viewers who will get seasick. For static shots, hold the camera with two hands, hold your breath while filming, tuck your elbows into your body to reduce movement. Holding the camera against a tree pays dividends. It really pays to keep that camera moving smoothly. Lighting. Even the best cameras struggle with high contrast settings. Where possible, I avoid filming under trees due to the alternating sun and shade. Early morning, late afternoon or cloudy days are the absolute best for quality footage. Narration. Almost everyone hates the sound of their own voice, but adding narration makes a video far more interesting if you want other people to watch it. The difficult bit is to sound animated, as though you are talking to another person. It can actually help to have a few drinks your first time, just to loosen up. The quality action cams actually work well as microphones. Just hold it next to your mouth, not directly in front, otherwise you get those plosive sounds on the letter P. Some people can ad-lib well, but usually it's easier to write a script and record that. Think about a storyline for the day's ride. Is it a new unexplored area? Does one of the guys have a new motorbike? Then add a catchy title, A Journey into the Unknown, or What We Think About Bob's New KTM 890, or Scotty crashes his Royal Enfield and lives to tell the tale. Camera settings. Resolution. Most of these cameras film in 4K resolution or even higher, but if you want to keep it simple, I think the standard 1080p is fine. It's all I ever use as the editing is faster and I don't need an expensive laptop. However, if you want to also edit videos in portrait mode for social media, it pays to edit in 4K so you can create both landscape and portrait videos. Frame rate. I hear other writers saying that filming at 60 frames per second makes the video smoother. I just film at 30 frames per second. Experiment, see if you can pick any difference. For motorbike riding, you will usually want the highest stabilization settings possible. Ditto for the widest angle possible, at least for helmet cam footage. You can choose narrower angles for static filming, as otherwise everything at the edge of the screen bends too much. If you are a beginner, then the default camera settings are usually fine. However, the quality cameras will usually have a high quality flat setting with no sharpness or contrast applied. It's called Pro Tune on the GoPro. As you get more experience, this setting does allow you to apply your own tweaks when editing for better results. Audio. For helmet cam footage, you will almost always need wind reduction, and this will have to be on maximum for highway speeds. Even then, it won't sound great unless you are tucked behind a windscreen. Editing. As mentioned, consider filming short, interesting bits and stitch them together. Editing is so much faster. I usually have 30 minutes of video at the end of a ride. I edit this down to 10 minutes of the best bits. It's a very quick process. If you do film very long sequences, try to be vicious when it comes to deleting the boring bits. A common trap for beginners is thinking all your video footage is valuable. Be ruthless. Adding music. This is controversial. Some viewers hate it. Some don't mind as long as it's not intrusive. I just have a short bit at the beginning and end nowadays. There's plenty of copyright-free music. I'll put some sources in the pinned first comment. Video length. If you want other people to watch it, a rough rule of thumb is say 4 minutes for YouTube or 2 minutes for Facebook, unless it's a really gripping story that will hold people's attention. But of course, there are all sorts of shorter clips now for viewers just using their phones. Do your research. Editing software. There's plenty of free options. iMovie is very good for basic editing. Ditto for Clipchamp if you are on Windows. If you want to get serious about video editing, then DaVinci Resolve is generally seen as the best free option with almost all the features of professional software. Drones, 360 cams, zoom cameras and extras. Let's start with the basics. It's always handy to have a spare battery or two. Ditto for a second SD card in case you fill up the first one or it gets corrupted. Consider putting your name and phone number on your action cam. There are plenty of honest riders who will return it if you lose it on the trail. If you get the Dango mount, always have it tethered to your helmet. The Dango mount is very strong, but can gradually slip. A 1 meter selfie stick. These usually fit into a backpack easily. If you're static filming, it gives you some extra elevation for interesting camera angles. Now the expensive stuff, drones, 360 cams and zoom cameras. It's easy to throw money into this stuff, then realise it disrupts the ride too much. These options are also expensive and will be less used than your action cam. Personally, I would advise against these extra cameras unless you are seriously getting into filming and your buddies don't mind waiting and performing for you. Zoom cameras. You need to spend quite a lot of money to get good quality, unfortunately. Zooming in does give you some creativity, but you often need your riding buddies to do several passes to nail the shot. I've given up using zoom cameras, it's too easy to damage them. 360 cams. I really enjoy the crazy shots this allows, but others just find it weird. One thing I do like is the drone-like shots using a long carbon fibre pole attached to my waist. Again, I think this is only if you are seriously getting into filming. A good budget option to try is the Akaso 360 cam. The high quality options are the GoPro Max 2 and DJI X5. I haven't tested these, but hope to in the future. Drones. I am not a drone expert, but I highly recommend the AirHover X1 Pro Max. It's tiny and will fit into a pocket. It's incredibly quick and simple to use as it can fly autonomously, has excellent tracking abilities, and it just takes off and lands on your hand. It will only track you at 40 kilometers per hour though, so don't expect it to follow you at highway speeds. Finally, social media. Thinking of becoming a professional YouTuber? Forget it. You would need 1.5 million views a week just to have an average income. Some YouTubers actively get into affiliate marketing where they promote certain products and have sales links to get commissions. Me, I refuse to do it. But apparently, once you have a few 100,000 subscribers, this can create a reasonable income. I refuse to post videos anymore on Facebook. They kept making it harder and harder. And if you put ads on your videos, they only give you 5% of the income. There is plenty of advice from mobs like YouTube on how to develop an audience. I don't agree with a lot of their strategies. Anyway, feel free to check out what the influencers say. This is all only a very quick guide, but I hope it's useful. Remember to just keep it simple when you start filming. I'm keen to hear your thoughts and any extra tips. I'll add these to the pinned first comment.